You ready?
Because we've been doing it.
I know.
They just been missing it.
All right.
The conversation been started.
All right. Welcome to episode 4 of She Grows Wild podcast. And today we have the lovely Keisha Hester.
Hi, guys.
So, do you want to kick this off and tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Sure. But first of all, let's give my girl her flowers. I am Oprah who. You see, listen, we got the hospitality on 10. I've been at home. Like this is
Aww.
So I guess this is the official start of the video, but we done already been in conversation. So if you have been tuning in and you tuned in now, this one, we ready in NAACP. Come on. So
put it in there.
We here. My name is Keisha. And I do a lot of things. We're gonna get into that. But that's met Rayshaun here. She was interested in my grant services, and we've been locked in ever since. So she's been there on the ride with me through some of the biggest new things that has been coming out. So I appreciate you for being there.
I appreciate
as a client, a friend, a confidant. So we gonna get into it. You want to watch this one?
Oh, okay. Look, I'm like, I ain't here. I want to get into it too. So normally our format is to kick off talking about your childhood. And I love to paint the picture of what's going on in your life at that time, some of your experiences. So I'll let you go ahead and kick that off and tell us a little bit about little Keisha, little Kiki.
So y'all ever seen that meme where it's like, I ain't never seen a Keisha as a baby? They just come out grown. I did. I don't know who wrote that or why Keisha's got that rap, but that is like 99.9% true. Like,
really?
I don't know if, so as a child, I was always into stuff like, my earliest memory is me like standing in my grandmother's lap and she's singing to me and I'm bouncing. She was like, you was only like maybe 8-9 months then. That's my first memory ever.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And so she was like, you was a baby. I was like, but I remember that. Like vividly, so my grandpa used to always say, I'm reincarnated because I have an old soul. I do. So Keisha, you never meet them and they're childlike, but they sassy. So it's like, some shit you don't need, and it's like, dude. So as a child, I was, we kind of talked about it, picking out my own switches because I was not rambunctious, but headstrong. It's a blessing and a curse. But from then to school age, maybe like 5, are like real developmental years. So I remember a lot of things like learning how to read, reading, like recalling facts, like learning things and stuff. So that was the bulk of that for me, like just enjoying life and seeing like, hey, what's going on here? Like what I need to know. And I was bad. I got switches and stuff. So just learning, testing the waters. I call it that,
Were you an only child?
I was the baby and the only girl. So I was spoiled on top of
some context.
Everything. Yep.
Okay.
I was the only girl for like 26 years, 27 years till the next niece or granddaughter came, great granddaughter. And that was from my brother. Everybody had boys. Tell my mama she had me and my brother. Oh, I'm the only girl. And I don't mean to sidetrack, but when you were talking about like the recipes and what your great grandma and them used to do and stuff, like I'm the only girl to carry that down, like me and her, like from my grandma and everything, so it's almost like oldest daughter and only daughter or the same. So, you're tasked with helping guide the matriarch of that family. That is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So that clicks now, but seeing back then, like, well, why was I learning all of this? And like having these questions and stuff. So I was very inquisitive about stuff.
So they were pretty much making sure that you were also taught these things. It was important in your family dynamic. Oh wow.
Yeah. My learning how to make cornbread from scratch. That's what I'm doing at like 3. And I'm keeping up the house. I'm doing all the stuff with my grandma. Like this was what she was. She was a homemaker. So she kept me for those years. Like that's the bulk of my memory of like, growing up and stuff. When everybody else was at work and at school doing stuff, I was learning how to like run a business and do like stuff. So always taught to like know things. That's what you was like, you're gonna know how to do something. So that carried on into the years. I was pretty much that fly low type. Like I'm coming in doing what I gotta do and I'm trying to get out, or whatever. Like head down, let's go. What we need to learn, okay, let's go ahead and do that. So I could do what I want to do. I was very good if I went in the rooms to be like, good, okay, good. No.
What were some of those things you recall liking to do when you were a child?
Okay. So everybody always asks that, like, what you want to be when you grow up? Or I always just want to be like a secretary, like, or a cashier. I just love to do stuff and be, hey, how you doing? Like customer service,
Oh.
That is it. I would get those little nails you plug on and like type at the
It was the sound.
It was the whole just not like the whole thing of it. Yeah, like I'm working.
In charge.
Yes,
I'm busy. I'm busy. Sounds important.
I'm doing this. Yes. They be driving the little fancy cars with the briefcase and stuff, with the cute little purse.
Yes.
That's my dream. That's what I want to do.
I love it. You still the boss. You still flirting. Where you nails at, girl? We got to get you some press on.
I have too much for that. I be in the dirt. I be in the dirt.
Sorry, you still making noise? You still making noise? Now, did you grow up? I see that your grandmother was a predominant role in your life. Did you grow up in a 2-parent household?
Half and half. So, my mom and dad were married. They were married. I don't know how long. I was 7, I think. Okay, 7, and they divorced then.
Okay.
But it wasn't. Well, he was there, but he wasn't there.
Okay.
Like
okay,
that's my daddy, cool. Like, but as far as like being a present father figure, was not. Okay. Not with me. Like maybe more so with my brother, because those years, like growing into that, they were in Houston. Okay. And so we moved out here when I was born. So that's why I was like, Beaumont is all I know. Houston, what? Cool, I was born there, but I don't remember that. Get out, come here, So Beaumont raised me. My dad is from North Carolina. We cool now. We might make it to that. But it didn't hurt me nor hinder me because in those years he wouldn't. Basic stuff, but sit down, have a conversation, actually render me to grow. No, okay, none of that. A lot of more of your mom. It's always been my mom and and my grandma and them, but him was like no love lost because I'm cool. We good. Like I ain't no beef with you, but I'm not gonna force you to do what you should want to do or whatever. Right. Like I said, we good now. We cool now. But part of growth. Yeah. Single mama took care of me and my brother. He was like truly the male figure in my life. So that's my best friend. So, like him making sure, you know, we good or whatever, like how you were saying your son, like make sure everyone's safe. That was him. And his friends, I couldn't go nowhere without them knowing that I was his little sister. I was like, dog, my name is Keisha. I'm nothing like this guy. He was responsible. I was wild. Oh. I am first. And I wasn't. You know, made the man job hard, Kiki. Wow. Yeah, we can admit that now. We can admit that now. So snatch you up because I'm always the big brother. They're awesome. I really did. I'm the oldest, but I thought that would be so cool to have a big brother. I really did. Big brother, big sis, anybody like, you know, older than you, but it's cool when it can be like the male figure, you know, because the older gonna always protect you. You know that, you know, they gonna. It's imagine receiving that. And it's like you can appreciate it. Yeah. Maybe so back then. My bad, bro. We used to fight. We used to fight. No, you sound like you used to bug. I would get, see, there we go, getting in trouble. I mean, like, you don't expect me to retaliate. If I don't, I'm a punk. I'm not gonna let you win. I'm coming through. I'm your brother. I'm coming through on the promise. Maybe some of the stuff he taught you kind of backfired on. Because when the student has to pass teacher at some point. That is really funny. I did. I thought that was so cool. And a lot of, you know, people that I knew that had them, they was just like, I was like, man, I bet that's pretty awesome. But I think it's a different kind of love. It is. Different kind of respect, but also just that comfort. Because, you know, you have your parents, of course, but, you know, you're always going to have your, you know, your siblings. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really, really cool, a really cool thing to observe and to have. But I did. I always wanted one. I was like, that's awesome. So let's talk about a little bit about middle school going into high school because you already sound like you're a little firecracker. I do what I want to do. And I like to talk to you about that's like mentality. The dress and the music and what's going on at that time. Oh, like what's cool. She Asian me, y'all. Not too much. My middle school years was, I know y'all remember, it was all that layered mess going on. So you wore a collared t-shirt or something and you put like the spaghetti straps over it. Come on. And that was the era where I was really into like the V-Tech. When they had that monochromatic, like that green, I wanted a fatback Apple Mac so bad, that turquoise. I wanted that computer. So that's like the vibes. It's we in the 99s and the 2000s. Come on. Like right there. What are you listening to? Oh, that was Oldham Academy. We listening to Blink 182 all the way to Avril Lavigne. We got Dixie Chicks going on. Of course, all the R&B. We got Juvenile. Juvenile was my first CD I got to buy, 400 Degrees. I know y'all remember the record rack. That's why if Floyd, if you watching this, go ahead and buy that. We got to get that. We would go to the record rack every Saturday, and she would buy an album, and we go home. She put that album on. We clean up, and you know, like I was. Yo, first was Julie. I got to buy 400 Degrees, and I was like, man, it got the custard on it. It's like, but we was always raised like, this is entertainment. You know, real from right and all that. So it's like, don't go out there talking like this. When I know you finna shake your ass and do all the pussy pop and all that, that bet not come out your mouth. I can say it now because I'm grown. But don't. Not in front of nobody. You got a classic the first go round though, man. And my brother man stole it. And that's what you get for having older brothers. Stole my CD. Oh, I don't know who it was. They stole it because it was in there. It was in there next to Lil Wayne. And when I got my CD case back, it was gone. Somebody stole my. You got a nice little taste going on with your girl. Blink 182. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I used to love them Dixie Chicks too.
That was dope.
That